broadcast network, AFTERBUZZ TV. Over 20 million weekly downloads in over 150 countries, and your number one source for after-show entertainment. AFTERBUZZ TV, the destination for TV superfans. Producing after shows for over 300 of your favorite TV shows, interviewing celebrities and showrunners, and bringing you behind-the-scenes exclusives. All thanks to E! Entertainment's Maria Menounos, producer Kevin Undergaro, and internet leader Akamai. Now, let the buzz begin!
Hello, AfterBuzzers, and welcome to the after show for Manzo'd With Children. Lots to discuss in tonight's episode. I'm your host, Grant Rutter, and next to me, the panel is here.
Hi guys, it's Megan Stecher, and you can follow me on Twitter at Megan Stecher, MEGANSTECHER.
Fern Ronay here. You can find me on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at Fern Ronay, FERNRONAY. I like spelling the name.
Yeah.
It just has a nice ring to it.
I like saying underscore. I'm a little dramatic. You can find me on Twitter at Grant's _ rants. I've been saying it too quick, so we gotta clarify that.
Slow it down.
And of course, you can find AfterBuzz on all social media accounts. I think AfterBuzz has a great Instagram account. They regram everything. That's a great way you can really see what's going on around here, who's coming in as a guest, or what crazy things going on other shows. So check us out on social media as well. So that sounds good. Tonight we'll be discussing season 2 of Manzo'd With Children, episode 4, Very Brittany Bridal Shower. And man, we started right out. Grandma Nettie was in the house. They were magic marking a popsicle stick. Like, what the hell was that? I was like, oh my god, what is this? Hanging tea sets, and Lexi, Gina's daughter, showed up. A lot of things going on to prep for this. What did you think? What did you think of the major glue guns they had going on to glue down the teacups?
To the thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was like, this is serious bridal showering happening.
There was like, it
How
was
it
like a
should be.
caulking gun. One of them was big.
I have a few notes about the entrance scene to this episode.
Oh.
Please.
Number 1, why are we waiting until the morning of to do all the little like nitty-gritty grimy details? They're like, those are the things you do the night before when you're like, crap, it's last minute. I hope this dries by the morning. Like, not 3 hours before when you still have to do your hair, makeup, and get changed.
How do you even sleep knowing that you have everything not done yet? Like,
Right.
I couldn't do it.
Exactly.
Okay, that's note 1. Note 2.
Excellent note.
Did anyone else catch the woman in scrubs doing dishes? It was a very quick shot in the beginning, but I was like, haha, they have a housekeeper.
I did notice her because I was waiting for them to put up the name.
Yes, no name, just a quick
Oh.
and dirty, real quick moment.
Are you suggesting that when the kids were asked to clean, it was a setup for the show? Perhaps
You know,
it was
I'm just saying, perhaps there's a little hired help around every now and then.
I went back a few times because I was like, who are these people? Like, how are they related? It was like Caroline's niece was one of them. Like, I was trying to figure out everybody that was there that I didn't recognize.
Right.
I went back because I was like, I think that's Caroline's mother, but I was like, I didn't know if it was really her, so I went back to see that.
Yeah.
And then I was like, well, who's this woman washing dishes? And they never said. So,
No.
yes, good eye.
I mean, she's wearing scrubs, and I have to say that there was only one time when I saw a woman wearing scrubs in someone else's home, and I was visiting a girl whose wedding I was in, her parents' house. We were stopping by quick for something, and their full-time housekeeper wore scrubs. Who knew? To, like, do their laundry and iron their clothes and things. So it makes me think that she's like a full-time housekeeper.
Ah.
Maybe not full-time only at their house, but
yeah.
I mean, that would
But she has
seem...
11 brothers and sisters. It could have been one of the sisters.
I don't know.
They would have said, right?
I don't know.
Yeah.
Well, my third note, how great does Caroline's mom look? It looks like they could be sisters. She looks
Seriously.
amazing. Like, did she start popping out kids at 14? My lord.
That's why I had to
I
go
was
back.
thinking that too, yeah.
That's why I went back to see. I was like, who is that? Because I really didn't know.
Something good in the water at her house.
Yeah, she was doing a lot of heavy work too. So good for them. I couldn't get over those glue guns, but they were going to town. I like it. I like a good glue gun. My grandmother always had a bunch of them, and they were always like, you know, she would get in here with this, and she'd go crazy with them. So I like the crafting aspect.
I have
do.
two.
Nice. I
You
don't
too?
know.
I have two
guy.
glue guns.
Really?
They're minis. They're perfect size. Like, tuck away. Boop, boop. When you need to get crafting at Christmas time, like, pop them
Nice.
out. One for each person. Get to it.
I took mine when I went to Florida last week. I had to take care of something. I was down there to glue cases together. Something. So I brought it. Yeah, I brought it to the hotel.
You flew with a glue gun on the airline?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
I didn't even think about that.
Does it look like you're like?
Oh yeah, but I put it in the big bag and checked it. I didn't put it like on a, I didn't put it on the plane.
And your bag
Do
made
you
it?
think his bag got searched? I can't.
I didn't even think about that.
Well, I did. Oh my
Oh
god.
well, whatever. Who the hell cares?
They're like, we got another crafty one.
I know. Wow.
Bag does this belong to?
I even had to go and buy glue sticks when I was down there. Anyway, they don't need glue sticks at that house. They've got plenty of stuff. A lot going on. There's a lot going on in there. Let's talk about our impressions of the backyard when it was all complete, because it really did come together nicely.
Beautiful. And just seeing their house from the back, you realize how big it is.
Yeah.
Oh, it was beautiful. Absolutely beautiful.
I thought it looked a lot less DIY once it was all done, and maybe a little bit was professional, because I thought that all the flowers in the front entrance when she first walked in looked very professional, and not so much of the teacup statues she had been building. They looked a little like they had just come fresh from the florist. So I thought it was beautifully done. I loved the little touch of the little flower wall with the empty frames on it that were spray painted gold. Very nice. The umbrellas floating in the pool, gorgeous.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah, that
too.
was very nice.
What did you think of the list that was posted that Vito said what he liked about her?
Oh,
Did you
God.
catch that?
And wait, and then at the
Yeah.
end he said he likes her boobs before and after.
Yeah, the new and the old.
He
Yeah.
likes her just as she is. That's how it's supposed to be.
I didn't know.
Yeah.
I mean, I know she had the stomach. I don't know if she had boobs too.
Yeah, I didn't
Well,
either. It was
maybe
like, when did
it
that
was
happen?
like a lift in a make smaller situation with the whole like weight loss.
That
Maybe it was
very
that.
well could be.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
That could very well be. Then we flashed over to Hoboken, and we saw Greg make his little entrance and appearance, and there was a lot of conversation if he was going to be upstaging Lauren. No, I don't think he did. I think it was just like a nice, friendly, like surprise that it was really cute. What'd you think?
Yeah.
Exactly that.
Exactly.
I was
Yeah.
like, I wouldn't be offended. I would be like so excited that they went to the effort to book the airline, and he's living in San Francisco, and
Yeah.
get a box to fit him, transport him there. Like they went through a lot of effort. It was really sweet.
It was funny too the way they had him like boxed up, laying in the back of the car the whole way there.
I like that they forced him to do that, even if it was just for a few blocks for the show.
Uh-huh.
I was
Right.
like, he's really in that box.
Very cute. He's so cute. I love Greg. I invited him to call into the show, and he hasn't responded yet. So if you're on
Greggy.
Twitter, go to Greggy Bennett and tell him to call into the
Yeah, and
after show.
he's out here on the
Yeah,
West
we're on the
Coast,
same
so
time.
it could be very convenient for him.
Same time
So,
zone.
Yeah. So, when they were flashed back to right before everything went down with the bridal show, before it was in motion, they had that Brittany come and help out, kind of set things up. She broke a glass or whatever she did. But, I don't know, did you find it kind of awkward? Because I feel like she's been on the outs and she's not really like a part of that circle. So I was like, this is really like awkward for me as a viewer to have her here, because it's like she doesn't really belong. Did you feel the same?
Yeah, I mean, I think going back to what I had guessed a few episodes back, or last episode, it's been a couple weeks, was that it was all kind of set up for, let's send Brittany in to help set up the shower. But I did appreciate, Caroline seemed very convincing when she was in her interview reflecting and said, poor kid's nervous wreck, but it shows that she's trying. So that seemed very genuine. But the whole, like, Brittany looking nervous and dropping things and just being there at all to help set up, I don't know, seemed a little planted.
Yeah, she said, she offered to come to the shower. You don't offer to. Was she invited? No.
Yeah.
It was like
By
Albie
the
forced
producers,
it.
right?
Albie forced it on them.
And the producers forced it on him.
Yeah.
So it was like so.
I would not have gone if I were her, because it's
No.
just awkward.
It was awkward.
It's clearly like for a show, she's not really connected. Even Lauren was like, "Oh yeah, we're cool now." Like to even have to have that conversation is kind of weird. Like, "Oh, I like you now." Yeah, that's what she said. We're cool. We're good. And I was like, "Oh, okay. Too bad if you weren't. She's sitting at your bridal shower." Right?
I thought it was strange she was wearing Caroline's belt.
Right. There was no explanation
Yeah,
of that.
No.
That was weird.
That was strange. When Caroline when she mentioned Brittany, she said, and this was something just a little moment I loved. She said, "I'm the toughest marshmallow you'll ever meet." And I liked that because I think that fits Caroline,
Yeah.
Totally.
I like that. A little rough, but, Not bad. No, I'm not. I'm still a good egg, but I'll let you know. You know, I like that. Good,
it's like when a marshmallow gets a little stale on the outside. And it's a little crusty, and you're like, I still want to eat it.
Yeah.
That's you, Caroline.
That's
Crusty
you.
marshmallow. Caroline. Call on the show. We love you.
I love it. So the bridal shower began, and another moment I loved was Melissa Gorga walking in the driveway with a leopard print gift.
Yes, work. Turn to the left, turn to the right. That was a bridal shower, and she looked ready for I don't know what. Like her Miss USA turn on the catwalk. Like what was that? I love her. I live for her.
I love her. I think she always looks good.
She always looks
fabulous.
phenomenal.
And I just like that it had to be because we're in New Jersey. It had to be a leopard skin,
Obviously.
gift.
While Teresa is locked up, clank clank. She has to be the leopard person. She has to. She has to. She's taking on the
I
role.
love it. And then Jacqueline sashayed up that driveway, looking good in her heels.
Oh my God, wait, I have to say. So my boyfriend, I used to force him to watch New Jersey Housewives with me, and God bless him.
Poor guy.
Oh, God.
He would.
Even I have a hard time doing it. I'm just kidding.
This is years back before we moved to LA. I guess we were just stuck with the one TV. I don't remember why he was always feeling like he had to watch it with me, and he would. But he goes, "What happened to her face?" when he saw Jacqueline, and I was like, I guess she's changed a lot. And I said, well, she's very fond of the Botox and fillers.
She always has been.
So I was like, she loves having work done. And, it's like you just get carried away, and I guess you don't realize you start looking so different.
Yeah.
And I guess we haven't noticed it over the years, but he's probably been like,
Yeah,
what
he
a
hasn't
difference.
seen it in a long time.
Yeah.
I don't know. He used to watch it in like the weave pulling years, like
Oh, yeah.
Those were the early years.
like Melissa's entrance year.
She has changed quite a bit because she's gone up and down in weight quite a bit. She's, she has gotten work done over the years. So, and she's gone through a tremendous amount of stress with her son.
Yeah.
So, time does pass, as we know. And then Caroline alluded to the big moment of genuine happiness when Lauren came. She was in a wedding gown. She did look good, but Vito looked like he was ready to cut meat. I don't know what he was. It was like
I didn't even notice what
she was like in this long to the floor white dress, and he was literally just for work.
Happy wife deli life. He probably
I love that.
He probably just left the deli to drive her to the shower. Which, first of all, why did they make him stick around for the shower? Isn't the whole thing like the girl gets dropped off? He doesn't even necessarily the one to drop her off, and then at the end of it, he has to show up to be like, "Look at all our great things, thanks," and
helps
like put everything in the car.
Yeah,
That's how it works.
I have never been to a bridal shower. I went to one lousy wedding. Please, it was a family.
One wedding?
Yeah, one wedding. It was for a family
Grant.
member, and it was
You
terrible.
lucky dog.
They're never gonna watch this. The wedding was lousy. But it was long ago. But no, really. So I've never been to a shower. So I was gonna ask you, ladies. So that's like normally like he's not gonna sit there and like eat and drink. It was all women. Even Caroline addressed, and we'll get to this when she had her speech. She was like, "Thank you, ladies, for coming." I was like, "Oh yeah, there are no men there." Oh, because it's a shower. I haven't been. I probably won't ever be invited to one. That's okay. What did you think?
It seemed like Caroline kind of was like, you're all gonna be there as the family. So like Dad was there. Yeah. Dad was helping, leaf blow around, whatever, before it got started. Cleaned up after. The boys were there once they brought Greg, and Vito was there. So maybe it was like a Caroline mandate, and especially because they were filming, that everyone would be there.
It wasn't that weird. Like usually the guy shows up at the end and puts like all the right gifts in the van, and that's his only part in the shower. But I guess it's not that weird if they're like having a big party at the house, come eat, and like your immediate family. It's not like every girl brought their significant other.
Right.
It wasn't like there's Jack and Jill showers where guys go, which I'm sure is torture from the men, but that wasn't this. So it was just like the immediate family of the males. So I guess it wasn't that weird, but I didn't notice what he was wearing.
I mean, he was wearing a shirt, like a work shirt, like had like the embroidered like symbol of his family's business, and
didn't
like
even notice.
black like pants that you would wear like in a kitchen or a pantry. Like and then he took it off, and then he sat down at a table, and he just had like a black T-shirt on.
Oh my God.
Yeah, so it was just kind of like, Yeah. I'll take that back. I went to 2 weddings. One of them was pretty good, and the original one, when I was really young, you know which one I'm talking about. Not good. I was like in kindergarten. It was in someone's backyard, and it was just a low budget wedding. It was not like this.
low
But
budge.
yeah, but the first one I went to was at a country club. It was good. I mean, the other one was
nice.
whatever.
I love
Anyway,
weddings.
I just want to clarify, just in case if the wrong person happens to listen to this episode.
Yes, clear that
Because
up.
I want to clear that up. Because one was better than the other. Who cares? Caroline gave a good speech. We got the sash that was given out.
I couldn't believe there was a microphone in it. Like, that's unusual
I
for
know.
a shower. That,
Oh, really?
There's, like,
Yeah, fill me in.
Hordes of people. They had to be able to hear her talk from
Right.
miles away. Over 100 people at this
That's
thing.
true.
Insane.
That's true. They all had to hear when I guess she was opening the gifts. Like,
Yeah.
thank
Plus
you,
the
Aunt whoever.
housekeeper.
Yeah.
Did you
Plus
like?
one.
Did you like the touch of the sash with the cut from the father's shirt, or was it a little hokey for you? What did you think? I was like on the fence.
I thought it was adorable because I love this stuff. Like I'm
Yeah.
such like a girly girl fairy tale. Love it. I even love that she wore to. I think it's strange, and I think it. But if this is a new trend, I love it because sometimes you're like, I wish I could wear a million dresses because I've fallen in love with like however many. So now wear one to your bridal shower. Why not? I love it.
I thought that sash was a cute touch. And also it would probably be wrapped up around her flowers on the wedding day to where you really couldn't see it, so it wouldn't stick out like an eyesore or
No,
something
yeah.
if you thought it didn't blend in with the wedding decor. So I thought that was a sweet touch.
Yeah, I thought so too.
Cute, and it
It was
counts as her
sentimental.
something blue, so she doesn't have to wear something blue. So it's now like in her. In her.
And old and new, if you think about it.
Oh, true. Yeah,
Is
she's
that
got her covered.
yeah? Is that something that every bride tries to make an effort to do in every wedding, or I thought that was kind of
so.
an old wives thing? You know, I thought
I
was
think
that still
so.
was that still very relevant in weddings today? I don't know. You know.
In weddings I've been a part of, I think even if the bride's not concerned with it, other people in the bridal party force it on them, or the mother or something. Somebody's forcing it on them. If they're like, I never gave two thoughts about this.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
like 10 minutes before, and they're like, I have this, and it's old and blue, and you're going to be borrowing it, you know? So, something
Whatever
like that.
works. So yeah, then all of this lovely moment was interrupted by the sound of a trumpet, and was it Chris that was playing it, running
yes, of
around?
course.
And I just it made me laugh because it's just so like I love the shots of the people who were like turning around, like it's just like so out of place. Even Lauren didn't know what to do, but the reveal of Greg was really cool, and it was well done, and it was nice, and you could tell it just made her day.
I loved how he busted out of there.
Yeah.
It was awesome.
Yeah,
She cried. It was sweet.
Yeah, it was really
so
cute.
sweet.
Yeah, that was a nice moment for sure.
He's
and it was good to
awesome.
see him on, yeah. So then there was an other awkward encounter surrounding Brittany with both Jacqueline and Albie and Brittany at the table. And I mean, this was clearly like, okay, Jacqueline, go sit over there and talk about their relationship. You know, that's kind of what it came across as to me. And so they talked about, you know, like children, and she had to write in this notebook. I don't know where she found this notebook. That was strange. Like, how do you, like, you're in someone else's house that you're not even really in with. Like, where are you getting a pen and a notepad? Like, I don't even.
It's a weird time to
yeah.
be doodling.
Yeah. So it seems a little forced to me, but, you know, what do you want to say about it? Anything?
It was so awkward. Go ahead.
No, I just thought it seemed forced too. And I couldn't
Yeah.
tell if Jacqueline was drunk or she felt uncomfortable that this was like a forced filming situation. She just seemed very uncomfortable.
Yeah.
I don't know. They
The whole
all
thing,
did,
yeah.
all the way around.
And I felt so bad for Albie. He's like, we just got back together. Like, don't ask these questions
Yeah.
now.
Look, I didn't even know if they were. I thought they were just still working on
Right,
things
that's
like
what
with
he
the
was
intent
saying.
to get back together.
Right.
Yeah. So
Right.
I was like, oh, a little early for that.
Yeah.
So-
that's like your worst nightmare of like this new person coming to your house, meeting your family, and then they get
Yeah.
grilled.
I gotta say, the only thing worse than that situation, I had this happen. I was dating this guy years ago, and I was like, you know what? I have this hankering for meatloaf and mashed potatoes. I haven't had that in a long time, and I'm just like, got a hankering for it. Meanwhile, I don't know how to cook. And I called my mom for the recipe, her old recipe, and who makes meatloaf and mashed potatoes? I don't know. I just got this weird hankering. I decide I'm going to try to make it, and I'm halfway through making it, and I don't know what I'm doing, and I bought enough food to feed an army, which I didn't realize, and the boyfriend says, I invited my parents over. I'm like, what? He's like, well, they're always inviting us over. I'm like, well, you don't really like spending time with your family, and I don't know how to cook, and this is going to be a big embarrassment.
And he's like springing it on you.
Yeah, and I was livid, and he couldn't understand why I was so angry. And then his dad sits down at the table, takes one look at all the food, and starts cracking up and says, there's enough food here for an army. So I was embarrassed. And then his mother says, since you cooked, Megan, why don't you say grace? So I had to like out loud bless the meal in front of everyone. And it was the most awkward, awful night ever. And he'll never live it. Well, he never did live it down. And
You're not
we're
with him
not
now.
together anymore. This was a long time
That's like
ago.
a scene from a movie. That's
Wow,
so
It
unfair.
was so bad. I gotta save that for a book or something.
Yeah.
Ooh, I would be pissed.
Anyhow, so that was just a little bit worse than Albie's
Yeah.
situation at that
the,
table.
the manufactured scene. Yeah. Yeah. That's a
worse.
real scene. Oh. Well, let's move. Anything else you want to say about?
I
the
just like
thing?
them cleaning up at the end.
Oh,
They're
yeah.
all like
Oh, yeah.
talking and Lauren's like, we
Day
can't
after.
win. Like we said we hated her last year. You were upset about that. Now we say we like her. You don't know what to do about it. So it's cute.
Yeah.
I like that Greg had to help clean up too.
And I like that he was playing with the parasols.
Like that's like very real. Like the day after, you know,
Uh-huh.
you kind of like you're on your pajamas. You don't look as good as you did, but you're gonna clean up, and it's like the after party of like just having to go through everything. The not so
Rehash it.
fun part. Yeah. So yeah, I like the afterglow of the main event. So I understand we have some news and gossip. So let's check it out.
AfterBuzz TV News.
Well, speaking of Brittany and our doubts about whether or not she's genuinely dating Albie, it appears if they were dating, they're not anymore.
Oh.
If you go on her Instagram, she is got a lot of pictures cozied up with a guy named Nico. Oh, gosh, I'm gonna not say this wrong. Nicolau. Suffice it to say, she's not dating Albie. This guy is loaded. He is a real estate mogul out there in Jersey. And it looks like she's just living the life with this guy and has no problems putting it out on her Instagram. She's not even waiting till the show is finished airing to even fool us for a minute.
Wow.
So, congratulations, Brittany.
Good.
I wonder if something should be in her contract, like let it be
Yeah.
suspenseful.
Maybe she
wow.
isn't on one.
Maybe she-
I don't know.
yeah,
maybe
I'm
not.
curious. Does he look anything at all like Albie? Does she have a similar type, or is cause that will let us know if this is a real thing or not?
I guess he's Greek with that name, but he looks a bit more like a Joe Gorga type.
I could picture it.
Yeah,
With a
I mean
name like that,
taller,
yeah.
but like tight black t-shirt, big
Juice head,
muscles
like
popping
Jersey
out, like
juice head?
like head a little bit shaved, like a nice watch,
Yeah, so
very tan.
Juicy Nico.
yeah,
Juicy
so
Nico.
a little different than Albie. So she doesn't
Yeah.
not like she has like
Yeah.
a type. Like, well, maybe she does. Maybe it's just
Rich.
not him. Yeah.
Chasing the spotlight. I don't know. Maybe. Okay. Well, next up, the three of us are all very excited to report this. Joe's 3-part special that we've all been waiting for. We heard there was a special in the works while Teresa's in prison. It's a 3-part special from Bravo. It's going to be called Real Housewives of New Jersey. Teresa Checks In. The only checking in Teresa is doing, that we can tell from this promo, is calling from federal prison. It looks very exciting, and I got the chills watching the promo, and wow, does Gia seem so grown up in
Wow,
this.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
This
Going
looks
to the prom, the
equally-
8th grade prom.
Yeah, it looks equal parts funny in that Joe is like the fumbling dad, and equal parts heartbreaking in that Gia's going off to important events in her life and mom's not around. So I think it'll be really good, and we're all very excited.
Very excited here.
We're hoping to cover that. I
Yeah.
think it'd be really fascinating to see how it kind of all shakes out. I hope it's a little bit more of like the real struggles of what it's like than it is like the cutie moments.
Right.
You know,
Right.
because I feel like we get a lot of those moments with this show Manzo'd right now, and it's a very real thing. And like you were saying, calling from federal prison doesn't get any more real than that. So I want to really see like the real deal
Yeah.
life over there, the struggle, and what it's all about.
One more note. Melissa and Joe Gorga's children walked in a New York Fashion Week show just recently. It supported the Victor Cruz Foundation. It was called the Kids Rock Fashion Show. And it was adorable. If you go to Melissa's Instagram, lots of cute pics of them backstage and walking.
They're
Oh,
so
yeah.
cute.
Yeah, her kids are gorgeous. So that's great.
Yeah.
That's all I got. I'm done.
Nice. Well, you know what time it is. Time to predict what's coming up.
And now, your AfterBuzz TV predictions.
So Chris will be writing a children's book, apparently.
I bet it'll be hilarious. He's so funny.
I think it's a good move for him.
Yeah,
I
why not?
never would have thought. You know,
Go for it.
Out of all these guys have had an interesting resume.
Really?
The entrepreneurs from Jersey. I love it. Well, I can't tell what's going on next week other than Vito's flashing his junk and he doesn't care.
Yeah.
He's drinking like from the juice bag.
That has to be
So
staged and manipulated. Yes.
And then
Next
the-
week looks very staged.
And the future mother-in-law is like, you're the vessel for my grandchildren. She looked genuinely terrified.
Yeah.
Lauren.
Yeah, I mean, we're jumping right into the baby talk now. I thought that would be like all of the next season. It would be like, is Lauren going to be pregnant? You know, it's
Right.
like in its own storyline. But
Right.
no, it's starting early.
Yeah.
Ugh.
It'll be interesting.
Yeah.
Well,
Oh, Lord.
that's all they gave us.
I'm actually so excited to see his parents. Like, we haven't seen too much of Vito's parents, and they look like adorable Italian. Like, I just want to eat them
Yeah.
up. I can't wait to see them and enjoy them.
Yeah.
They'll be cute. The Scalias.
Why are you laughing so hard, Grant?
I feel like I have run out of things to say about this episode.
And next week as well.
Yeah, well, you know, it's always tough. The previews they give, it's kind of like little snippets, you know?
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
we
it's
shall
hard
see.
to say.
Well, ladies, where can we find you online? We went over at the top of the show, but why not do it again? There's a lot to promote. Why not?
Fern Ronay here. You can find me on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at Fern Ronay, FERNRONAY. And I have a book coming out later this year, story of a single 29-year-old Manhattan lawyer who's guided in her dreams by her dead Italian grandparents. So find me on social media and let's talk about books and TV shows and everything.
Yeah, and talk to me too. You guys, I am on Instagram and Twitter and Snapchat. It's all at Megan Stecher, MEGANSTECHER.
And you guys can find me over on Twitter at Grants__rants. You can also find me on my new podcast, Grant's Rants Hollywood Talk. There's an episode coming up with a panelist here. Megan was on, and that episode will be coming up this week, the week of September 14th. So you can find that episode, and there are other episodes up, including an episode with my grandmother for Grandparents' Day. Just check it out if you want. There's a lot of hot topics we talk about, even the Housewives, so check it out. That'll do it for us here. Our thanks to Mark at the board, and that'll do it for the for Manzo'd With Children.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.